All right.
Okay, guys, everyone ready?
Probably.
All right. Well, if everyone's ready, last session, um, it happened.
Mm-hmm.
We went through Neverlight Grove, finally. We went through the horrors of Neverlight Grove. Many of you accumulated several forms of madness because of it. The horrifying stench, the pustules surrounding the walls, the fungus that would just encompass the bed of which you would walk upon. But then, not to mention the half living, half dead, decayed things melded within it. Some of you try to get close to the giant, towering, fortress like structure of Yigmorgis. And as you got closer to it, the more horrifying things you saw till finally turned back. You decided to tell Sovereign Basidia what you found, and you all urged to leave. Half of Neverlight Grove is now left. You were all leaving on your own path. Now, I believe, to Blingdenstone,
Mm-hmm.
the city of the Deep Gnomes, who two of you might have some issues with because of recent past racial struggles.
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, we continue. 16 days from Neverlight Grove to Blingdenstone. I forgot to ask this before we recorded. How many miles is that?
I thought you knew.
I didn't, because I was gonna ask and I forgot.
Look up the goddamn chart.
It's 16 days. That's all it tells me.
Oh, 16 days. Normally that's 24 miles, and that's kind of the standard
Yep.
you've been going with. I think technically in the Underdark, it's like a little weird, but you know.
I
20,
think they account for that.
16 days times 24. I will open up the calculator app. 24 times 16. We got 384 miles.
You
300.
get those numbers, Mark.
And
To be fair, like I did this last time and we somehow came out wrong.
mm-hmm.
So,
I'll be
just
keeping track
I mean,
as a side thing for you.
that would be great. So, how much was it again? 384
84.
miles. So, your last option here is to go to Blingdenstone. Hopefully, this is your chance to go to the surface. And so, you all travel. I will say, since Gavin is here and not Light, Gavin, is there any, or Rogi, I should say, is there anything Rogi would like to say to Stool and Rumbadump before they officially part ways?
Rogi will go over to them as we're leaving. And we'll kind of. They're. Rumpinum's my height, right?
No, he's actually, oh, he's a little bit taller than Stool. I don't know if it's actually
Oh,
your
okay.
height.
Okay, then
He's
Rogi will
smaller, but he's not that small.
bend down to them and. Well, I am sorry that your home did not end up being as safe as we thought, Stool.
It's okay. We had, it was a great adventure along the way. I, I'm glad to have met you. You're such a kind softer.
Thank you.
I hope I meet more like you.
You will, I think. Maybe. If you are heading in a similar-ish direction to us, I don't really know what people are like on the surface, and most other people down here are kind of shitty. But
Yeah,
I
I
think
kind
you
of
will.
noticed that, and then Stool kind of looks at the rest of your party.
I have been nothing but kind to him. Fuck you.
Same.
Bull fucking shit.
I let the spore thing happen.
Keluth feeds a mushroom to confidence while directly looking at Stool.
But to be fair, none of you are involved in this conversation. None of you know what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just know
Oh,
he's
yeah,
standing next
no,
to him.
he's just
Okay.
Sure,
doing
sure,
that.
I figured that was the case. I just want to make that clear.
sure.
Well, at least you have Basidia to guide you. Are
Yes.
you feeling okay about all of this?
I feel stronger. I think my time with you, going through these lands, have made me a braver and more powerful person. I I don't I don't know if I could have done that without you, Rogi. You you've been such a kind friend, and if I'm ever a sovereign, no, when I am sovereign, I hope that you find us so that I can meld with you again.
A big grin goes over Rogi's face. He says, I am looking forward to that. And I hope you know that I do not think I could have made it through all of this without you.
Really?
You are much wiser than you give yourself credit for.
Oh,
And even though there are not as many years that you have had, I can tell that you have absorbed a lot. And you will be sovereign someday. But before that happens, there is a lot of things to experience, a lot of
Yeah.
people to meet, and I cannot wait to meld with you and meet them all as well.
yeah. This isn't goodbye.
No,
I'll see you again.
I will come find you. I will make sure that we can see each other again.
He makes a straight line in the dirt. If you see this sign, I made it up just now, but uh, if you see this sign, that will point you to my home, to where I'm sovereign.
Perfect. I will find that.
Yeah.
But for now, I think we all have to try to
Hey,
make sure that there is a
Rogi,
world. Yes?
as you try to lift up, he just kind of stops you a bit, and he goes, "Rogi, you're so wise, powerful. You can you can fight these bad things. I know
So-
you can."
That. Thank you. I needed that.
No, you didn't. He
I
kind of
did.
he kind of laughs in your head a little bit. All right, Rogi. I have to go meet up with Basidia.
All right.
Come on,
Wait.
Rumbatump.
Stool.
Oh,
I
yes.
know your people do not usually care about things, but take this so that you can remember all of your adventures just a little easier. And I will give him the onyx ring that Keyleth gave me.
It is at this point where he kind of shifts in his mushroom-like form and kind of goes bipedal for a moment, and his stumps on his quadruped like arms become more like hands, and he takes it. I'm already growing, but thank you. He puts it
Rogi.
on and takes Rumpadump, and they reunite with Basidia and the rest of the fleeing group of Myconids.
Rogi is so amazed and does give Rumpadump and Stool his 2 treats. Oh, he can make
Aw,
3 now! Yeah, 2 treats. And says,
treat.
these will help you grow even stronger than you already are.
Still
And he
takes
just,
it like still takes it confident and goes, "Thank you." Rumpatump kind of like behind Stool just kind of snatches it away and goes, "Thanks." Yeah.
you all are so wonderful. I will miss you both so much.
They both nod at you. Not a trait normally used by Myconids, but a trait seen by you and the rest of the party. And they meet with the rest of the group and go on.
Teary-eyed Rogi will rejoin the others and will cry for the next 2 hours of their journey softly.
Did you hand them snacks? I don't think they eat.
They grow. They eat.
Fine. You literally met that thing a month ago, right? A blink in the eye of your lifetime. I don't know how you can get this attached.
To be fair, I think it's been a couple months.
Has it really?
I looked up the chart because I was curious. It has been
Yeah.
about 40 days plus however many days we stayed at each location. So like,
Oh, right, yeah, probably, yeah.
Like a
No,
month and a week.
yeah.
well, no. Are you considering the distance between all the locations you've been at?
Like that's basically my entire framing. I looked up the table that I knew existed. It's been 40 days since
Wow.
it's been 40 days of travel. Outside that, we've stayed for 5, 6 days, I think collectively.
Yeah, no, I mean, I believe you. You have this information more on hand than I do.
Hmm.
But yeah, alright, fair enough.
It has only been a month. But in all the years that I have lived, this has been one of the most impactful months of my whole life.
Gunter
Might
shrugs
he
at
not
that.
say the same?
Yeah. So Gunter just shrugs in an agreement. Like, yeah, fine, whatever.
Okay.
Gets on the funny lizard.
Keith mutters under his breath, I am so glad those mushrooms are gone.
Keyleth gets the, like, if he did it, like, to himself, whatever, but if he did it
He said
with,
it specifically to Gundra, but in that gossipy way.
yeah, a
Under the
Gundra
breath.
gives almost the exact same shrug
And in
of,
Elvish.
yeah, Gundra gives almost the exact same shrug of agreeance, but non-committally. First day, do we want to take it slow so we aren't ambushed, or what do we want to do,
You
gang?
guys.
Are we being pursued anymore,
How-
or did we see all of the drow that were fighting us in that tower?
You did see some drow while you were there, and
There was-
some of them did have the insignia of the people who were hunting you, but they were
House
also
Mizraim.
half embedded in, yeah, House Mizraim, but they were
Yeah,
half embedded in mushrooms.
I
Rogi will ask this question to Gundra and Keluth.
out of character, and I guess he explains this kind of in character as best he can. I don't imagine that Drow would be fully wiped by something. I imagine they'd be ambushed, some of their numbers go down, and then they have to break off and find another place to just kind of wait around and try to refine their path.
Yeah.
Going slow to start with won't be bad.
Yeah, it'll let us. One, I'm worried demons are wandering around because we're near a source of that sort of thing. Two, as long as we're moving, we're outpacing them.
Does anyone have a weapon that's not a dagger that they're not using?
Keith has a short sword
That you're not using?
that he's not using. He just got a +2 one.
Ooh. Oh wait, I can't do
Last
short
question.
swords.
Can't do short swords.
I'm looking for a
Keith-
battle axe, light hammer, or war hammer.
Oh
hand axe.
yeah, I don't think any of us got axes.
Dwarven things.
Yeah, you should have gotten that at Grackle. Still gives you one at it.
I
Yeah, we
should have
should've.
gotten it at any point in the campaign, yes. It's fine. Just curious.
Okay. Well, I mean, you guys continue on your first day of your journey. Are you going at slow pace, fast pace, like normal pace?
Regular
Say
pace, maybe?
regular pace.
Regular pace is fine.
Yeah.
You move on through. Let me see. Oh boy. Okay,
I
I
mean,
almost made a very bad mistake there. I almost deleted a page.
You should do that. That
oh
would be funny.
boy,
No. But you
Demogorgon
guys.
strikes again.
Oh yeah, wouldn't that be great?
No, don't say that.
You guys go through a whole day of travel. Nothing special. Nothing happening. It seems if there were problems here, you may have already dealt with them, or they have retreated if they were of fungal nature. And you can see signs of them as you walk through. Those with good survival can definitely see those of fungal build retreating towards Neverlight.
Mm.
Which has its own warnings. So you get through one day of travel, 24 miles, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I have to make sure because I fucked it up the last time.
Yeah, it's 24. It's 30 for a
Oh,
fast, and then
384 minus 24.
you know
So you have 360 miles
we travel
to
at a
never
fast pace
in
every
stuff.
day. We can get there in 12 days. We would be constantly rushing through and be ambushed by anything very easily.
We'd be
You,
exhausted as fuck.
not necessarily. You're still
Well,
taking a
not
break and sleeping.
statistically.
Yes.
I mean,
Okay,
our
I see what you
pursuit level's still at 1, isn't it? I'd say we just keep on at our pace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If
For
anything
now,
slows us down, though, we're going to have a close. Actually, is it
after a day of
high or low?
travel, your
It's
pursuit
high,
level would
so
be 2.
The likelihood of us running into things that slows our progress is higher if we go fast as well.
4 is the worst. 4 is an encounter,
Okay.
if I remember correctly. I could be lying to you right now. Who knows? Maybe.
You could be. You could be
Uh,
lying
Maybe.
to them.
I do have a bag of caltrops that I got from the Drow prison. At some point, I might just drop that behind us to fuck with them.
I mean, it's a 5-foot.
Yeah. When we get to a thin tunnel, we'll see. I'm
Fair
not
enough.
doing it yet, but we'll get there. All
He
right.
moved all his caltrops.
All right.
Well, he
On
didn't
the
lose them.
second day of travel, so if you have any health loss, bring it back in. You're all good. You travel more.
I
The
mean, second day
fungal
is a long
spread is
rest.
still a yeah, long rest. The second day you see a lot of fungus still, but it's starting to dissipate more and more. It's
Mm-hmm.
more fungus than you've ever seen, except outside of Neverlight Grove. But you can see it kind of fading away as you travel. Now, who's at the back of the group?
Uh,
Let me look at the marching order.
I
Frankie
mean,
and
that's
Gundra. I
probably
need you both.
changed. That's changed because Gundra's on top of confidence
Yep.
now.
Well, yeah, that's right. So, Frankie, what's your passive perception?
14.
Okay, good. So, at some point, Frankie, you see that there is some sort of slime thing, yellow in nature, constantly behind you. You don't see it moving, but every time you look back, it's somewhere on the walls or the caverns around you. You travel through a lot of your day and you still see it behind you, just kind of dripping, just there.
I guess I'll point it out to everyone.
Point what out?
The slime.
All right. What do you say?
I think we're being followed.
By who?
Huh? By what?
And
Well-
I'll point over to it. And, well, can they see it?
Yeah, it's just a yellow patch of slime that just kind of sits there on the wall.
Uh,
And it just rips.
what kind of check would we have to do to
Drips.
identify this?
Yeah, can I try to see if I know
Probably
what
a
this is?
nature
Can
check.
I roll survival?
I would say nature.
Okay, I don't got
If
that.
you are proficient in nature.
No flat
I am
intelligence
proficient
check.
in survival,
Okay.
not nature.
Nope.
Okay.
Can I
You're
use?
profi-
Yeah. Can I use? Delver
you ha-
feature. Or
If you have Delver,
Am I
I
range with-
will allow you to roll at disadvantage.
Can I? I guess I can't really help
18.
him.
18.
though.
You look at it closely, Keelu. It seems to move in an odd way. You might recognize this as an ochre jelly. A kind of slime creature that likes to just hang behind, to follow. It may not necessarily attack. It's not
We've
very
got a tail.
powerful, but you don't know if it's just waiting for you to stop. The other option is it could just be some weird yellow slime that's starting to fester on these fungus walls.
Good spot, Frankie. That's hopefully an ochre jelly. If not, I don't want to know what that is. Let's ignore it for now, but the next stop we have to make for the night, we are going to need 2 people to keep an eye on it.
You all continue with your journey.
Yeah.
As the end of the second day runs around, you find a nice little cavern, kind of sequester yourselves in. But it's odd, because just outside the cavern, this yellow slime is there.
Do we
In
need to
front
take
of us?
No,
care
just
of this?
outside
Don't
of the edge of the cavern.
Don't suppose
On the
anyone
wall.
speaks slime.
I don't think these things speak.
It's a slime. They have no intelligence. Let's kill this thing before we go to sleep.
Okay.
Alright.
Rogi just had a heart-to-heart with a mushroom, and we're gonna just start killing slimes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're slimes. They're-
Slimes are not mushrooms.
Yeah, slimes don't have thoughts.
No, they're
I think some of them develop psychic abilities, which gives them the ability to have higher thinking, but that's a rumor at best, and honestly, some mind flare nonsense.
While you say that, Gundra, there's an old thought that comes to mind
Mm-hmm.
from when you were escaping Velkenvale Outpost. And the slime there called out. And he said, "Food for the faceless one."
Sounds pretty intelligent to me.
Well, we're denying that reality because I know what slimes are. They're mindless beings that eat
Mhm.
things.
That's fine. That was for you.
Yeah,
So stupid.
Gundra is a little bit more energetic about killing this thing. It's like, let's surround it, make sure that it doesn't get anywhere. Those who can defend themselves, be prepared to impede it.
Magic first, weapon second.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to sleep after this, right?
Yes, of
Oh,
course.
absolutely.
Cool.
Okay. Who would like to make the first attack?
I
Where did
will.
you say
It
this thing
literally
was
just looks
located?
like it's on the side of a wall. It just looks like a bunch of yellow, just fungusy ooze that's kind of dripping onto the ground.
Hold, we do not want this thing getting too close to us, right?
Range attacks are
Correct.
best.
Ranged first.
Well then,
I'm.
allow
I'm.
me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let me see if I can do something to help. I will take some of the fungus that's growing on my shell,
Okay.
and kind of mold it into a ball in my hand so that instead of being spore-like, it kind of turns to a more sticky substance.
All right.
And then I will mutter a few arcane words under my breath and throw it and cast web at the creature.
Oh. Okay. Conjure mess. Well, the web spell.
So I'm
Range
hoping that
six.
I can anchor it between two kind of parts of the wall that it's
This
Okay.
worms
against.
slime?
You
I
might
don't
have
know.
to.
I really want to find out.
You might have to check its condition immunities and its abilities, but
I am. I
yeah,
am.
maybe. It'd be
I don't know.
insane if this works, but
I'm assuming slimes can do that 1 inch movement thing, right?
Mhm.
Flame slimes are immune to blinded, charmed, deafened, exhaustion, frightened, and prone.
but not
Not
restrained.
restrained.
Not restrained.
And restraint,
That's
and this thing
interesting.
probably does have the 1 inch thing, but if it has a movement of 0, vaguely gestures hand in a confused way.
I'm imagining this thing looks like if you would spit into a spider web right now, and the spit
Yeah,
would just
basically.
congeal and sit in the web.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you cast. Okay, at this point, I want everyone to roll initiative. Just to kind of get this going.
Where are we? There we are. I found it.
Don't have a token.
Yes, you do. It's there.
Yeah, you do. It's right there. I see it.
I think I've gotten off for this because
Mark, come on. You don't have to get off on this.
He listen. Gundra is in a constant state of not wanting to be on confidence.
yeah, I
and
don't
Keyleth
trust
keeps
it.
putting him there.
Listen, Keyleth is
That's a sentence.
everything Keyleth did involving this thing was a correct move. I don't like it. Gundra very specifically just doesn't
Of course
trust
you
the
don't. You're a
animal.
wizard.
As you do this, Rogi, you encapsulate this whole thing inside a web. Sure enough, it slips right out.
Mm.
And now it's
Alright.
aggressive. Now it attacks.
Didn't work.
That's its full movement. I need to now dash. I'm right here now. That's its turn. Keyleth, you're first up on the round. Go.
Moon confidence over here.
Assuming you're on top. Yep.
Yes. And using the non +2 short sword because he learned his lesson from the first slime he fought. He's going to make 2 attacks.
There we go. Using your weak ass short sword.
Mm-hmm.
My weak short sword that I do not mind rotting if that's something this thing
Okay,
can do.
I'll tell you right now. Both attacks hit.
Oh hell yeah! It's one of those.
Bop.
Yeah. So that's
Hmm.
18 points of damage.
We're sleeping after this, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, action charge.
Jesus. Oh my god.
Okay, wow, a 6 and an 8. So that's
14 more.
14.
Yeah.
So it's severely diminished in size as you just
Also, I'd
tore
like to
this
mark it.
thing apart. Yep, marked as well. Let me just do that right now for you. This means it's marked. Anytime I use the gauntlet, that's your mark.
Got it.
All right.
Just a casual 32 points of damage for y'all.
Is that slashing damage? What's piercing?
Piercing.
Wow. So it won't split up into new jellies. Its
Excuse
turn
me?
will go.
Is that
It
its
will
funny little
attack-
trick? They
it
all
will
have
attack,
one.
Durendil. Durendil. I don't think Durendil gets hit on a 12.
Probably not. Well, what's his dex?
He has a 13.
Okay.
Yes,
So
that's
no.
elven dexterity.
So yeah, he has the Elven Dexterity. Durendil dodges his attack. That's his turn. So Dane.
Okay. So Dane will kind of, with his right hand, begin bringing it up from his side, and as he does, rocks begin to levitate around him, and then he will clench his fists, and they will become squashed and very dense, as if between two palms. As he casts motherfucking this thing.
Get it,
Melts
Godane.
minute meteors.
You can say minute meteors. It's the same
Yeah,
Minute
spelling.
meteors.
It's minute.
You can make them in a minute. That's why they're called.
Minute
No?
meteors.
It's
Minute.
10 minutes. But
Then he'll raise his left hand and fire a firebolt at it.
Okay. 5 fire damage. Wow.
Oh wait, that's actually,
An action.
this is an action. Never mind.
Yeah, that's an action.
So I'll use my bonus action to fire two of the meteors.
2.
So 2 dexterity saves.
Okay.
You've
That's
got
a
to
10 and a 15.
15's what you needed, so the 10
Cool.
hits.
Okay, that's 1.
And it's half on a successful save, so.
It is half on a success because they explode.
That's pretty good.
Oh god. Okay. 2d.
Wait, each creature within 5 feet of the point where the meteor explodes must also take a dexterity saving throw.
He aimed for the ass. It's fine.
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, you just aim for this. It's good.
You just aim where you want.
All right, fair enough.
He's a big creature. It works.
All right.
So I'll have to find a way to like properly just be able to click for this, but I'll just roll 2d6 for now.
All right.
So that's the first one and half of that one.
that's better.
That is that's 11.
So 4 and 2 is 6.
I'll tell you right now. It's at 2 HP. He's still hanging in there.
Gundra.
We're gonna step here,
Finish him.
kind of cling to the wall a little bit because this lizard's really large. Gundrick
One
really
step
quick.
closer, or he's not going to bite you. He's fully trained, I promise.
Gundrick really quickly
Confidence
says.
bites the nearest thing around him.
Gundrick really quickly says, "That was an impressive spell. Let me show you mine." He's gonna cast lightning bolt.
Oh my god, you're all straight
Yes.
dick sizes here.
You like just this large eruption of like sound and light. It seems like it's a straight arrow for a second, but as soon as it comes into contact with this thing, it just bursts out and shocks everything. He's trying very hard not to hit anybody else, and luckily he can control it to that degree. But
How much lightning damage do you do?
it is 8d6 or half on a successful dexterity save. Same rules as
Funny thing, immune to lightning.
fuck.
Worst of
What
all,
are the fucking odds of that?
worst of all, it now splits into 2. Your reaction to it it wiggles a bit, and then it just kind of segments into 2 separate beings.
Well,
You
that's
now
not
fight.
what was supposed to happen. It was,
That was
a third
pretty
level.
good, Gundra.
It was a third level spell slot. You're
Oh,
supposed to be
this is
dead.
why, like, Gundra's like, check this out. Boom! Oh shit!
I split it in half. It's
This-
weaker now.
He
This
split
is
it
a
and
kind of
slightly in
smart.
half.
I was
Gundra,
Sarcastically.
why did you make a spell that duplicates our enemies?
It doesn't. It's supposed to kill them.
It's-
It's just this thing isn't a person, so it doesn't react to lightning that way. Apparently.
It's a slime.
Didn't
They
do
do
very
this.
well.
It's okay, Rogi. We all have much to learn.
Future note: if we fight yellow slimes, they split if you electrocute them. That's a thing, apparently.
also not yellow slimes. Let's be clear about that. But also,
Okay.
Roki, you're up.
They're yellow and they're slimes. You can't.
Yeah, they are, but that's not what they are.
I
Are
don't
they
know.
not
What?
yellow
Can-
What are you saying that
Can
I
we
opened up a
even
Well,
call them
dictionary?
yellow?
Scream. Take out his rapier and get right there.
Okay.
I like
Yes.
to imagine he ran under confidence.
Yes. Oh yes. Most efficient way. Do you do anything?
We're all learning
with
things here.
parables?
Like, don't use lightning against these guys.
That's so funny because I was looking at lightning bolt like really wanting to take it, so it could have been me.
God.
I think to himself, that could have been me.
Bonus action, Rogi as he goes screams, "Kaklis no vertu," and begins moving really quickly. And I will do stab at. Actually, we'll do this one
Okay, got it.
first.
One
Normal
of
stab
both of
with
them is
first
marked.
attack.
We don't know which one. It's a DM's little cup trick.
And oh, I'm concentrating on that, so I can't use favored foe. 24.
24 hits, and that's 11 piercing. That kills it.
You want to know the funny thing? I was going to cast Enfeebling Ray on it
Mhm.
to just kind of weaken it, but then I was like,
Fair.
oh, this thing's
None of
probably
None
close
of
to
these
dead.
have unwavering mark on them anymore.
Okay.
They're two different creatures now.
Second attack. I will use my Zephyr Strike ability to grant me advantage,
Okay.
and then deal an extra bit of damage if I hit.
17 hits. You're doing
So
7. Add the
7
extra damage.
piercing and does 1d8, right? Yep, 1d8 of force. Hey.
That's enough to kill it. How do you want to do it?
So first attack, Roga just wants to slide and stab as he goes. And the second one, he'll right himself really, really quickly and just jump up into the air and essentially just toss the rapier at the thing point blank. He'll just like
As
a
it
throwing
lands, it
dagger, just
explodes a little bit, and it just kind of splits into nothingness. They both die harmlessly. Not even acidic. Just sit there and die this unmoving slime.
If this soil is soft enough, I'm going to use mold earth to kind of bury it, the like remains
That's
a
very
little bit.
fine, yeah. Gone.
I think we all learned a very valuable lesson tonight.
Do you think that's how they mate or reproduce asexually? I assume.
With lightning?
I don't know. These things are
where do
weird.
they find lightning?
There's a magical resource.
Have
You can find
Have you
things.
seen lightning down here?
Wait,
have to-
hand wave. Like, maybe.
Plenty of wizards cast it all the time. It's the only way to get lightning.
So
It's not like
they
it's a natural occurrence or
require
anything.
wizards for reproduction.
There's
Yes.
points.
Keith says confidently.
Man, that's a big letdown on the evolutionary scale.
Listen, sometimes
On the
sometimes
what scale?
storm elementals exist. Things like that. I don't know. I don't
I feel
understand
like
why.
they would be rarer, you know?
This is
Wonder
the
if
first one I've seen.
wizards are just plagued with. I wonder if we don't see any because they follow all the powerful wizards.
I mean, there are creatures that do that definitely. I don't know if these are it, but
They're usually imps.
Don't those creatures usually want something from the wizard?
Yes, imps.
These ones just want to fuck.
sometimes wizards
I don't
create.
think they do that.
Sometimes wizards have a bad habit of creating creatures. One of my teachers had this thing that was like was like a cat, but about the size of just a medium-sized spider, with wings on it. It was very strange looking. I hated it. I kind of want one for myself, but this one was mean and hated everything. Very vile creature.
That does sound like a spider.
Anyways, goes over to a
Shall we
corner
rest?
for bedrolls, sits down. Yeah.
Sleep time.
And with that, the second night comes to an end.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me. That's 360 miles minus 24. We're
I'm
at 336
so happy
miles from Bleeding
that I
Stone.
can just attack something 4 times, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Isn't
isn't
it
that
great?
great?
I said it first.
No, we said it at the
Yeah.
same time.
No,
but-
I said it first.
Okay. To be fair,
Is
I fully
very
understand how great fighters are. Fighters are fucking awesome to play as. People are like, no, yeah, I don't want to play something so bland. No, not bland. So customizable. Is what
Even
I say.
even champion fighters got their funny
Maneuvers,
little
man.
tricks.
It's all about maneuvers.
No,
Yes.
I disagree with the maneuver part. Because that includes that that means you have to be a battle master. You don't have to be
Well,
a battle master.
okay.
There's a
Fair
feat
enough.
for it now. Tasha feat.
It's true. It is a feat for it now. Alright. The second day comes along. Let me roll. I picked the wrong thing.
Fool.
Oh, well, many things.
Do we feel like picking up the pace today, or do we still want to just go at an average pace?
With that ochre following us, I would like to pick up the pace.
Well, you killed
Good
that
on
ogre,
those
so-
terms.
We did kill the ochre, but who knows if there's anything else around here that wants to follow us.
Mm-hmm. All it takes is some very natural and common lightning to make it produce more of itself, so.
One thing
You
I
should
want
be in the clear.
Keyleth just nods somberly at this.
I showed everybody the artwork for Neverlight Grove, right?
Yeah, you did.
I feel like I did.
It was very brief, but we saw it. I closed
you
it pretty
ignored it?
quickly.
It's
Yeah,
a bunch of mushrooms. Props to the artist, they're good mushrooms.
I like
Well, there's
bulges.
also this one. I don't think I showed anybody.
Yeah, that's just a mushroom.
Ooh,
That's
it's just a mushroom. That's it. That's
Flair
all it
art
is.
handout. Mushrooms. This is what they look like.
In case you forgot.
You know what a Mario is? Anyways, let's move at a fast pace today. If nothing
Alright.
else, just making sure that we don't find its family.
Ooh, going at a fast pace.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe those things are immune to lightning still. That
Some of
fucking
them.
blows my mind.
I have looked through oozes before, and they all have one weird quirk with them. I didn't remember that one. I don't think I've really paid a whole lot of attention to it.
They all every ooze has like one very specific, very weird quirk, and that's it.
One just
But as
happens to be lightning damage.
As you travel by the end of your day, you find this sign scrawled on the walls around you. A warning sign.
Ooh. Do we recognize it?
The drow would.
Mm-hmm.
It means
Yes.
demons ahead.
Fuck.
Are there any pathways without this marking on it?
No.
Were there any turns previous that it looked like we could circle back and go to?
You've been on a very straight line path this whole time. To be fair, a few meters up, it does open up into a cavern. So,
Hmm.
Weapons out.
Pull out my tiny prison shank.
all of you just see the drow just kind of sink a little bit. see the sign, as they see the sign, and then say "weapons out." None of you know what this sign means.
What's that
Yeah.
sign
Why?
mean?
Why should we have our weapons out?
Oh,
Demons.
this is a classical warning for demons, and if another drow is bothering to warn you, it's probably not good.
That's a lot.
It's bad.
What does it look like ahead? Like,
It looks like a very large open cavern.
it's just a huge open cave.
Yeah, we have room to maybe sneak around, and I think we should try that as best we can until we can't. But, you know, be ready.
Right. Rogi will take out his rapier and actually, in case it's far away, he'll take out the hand crossbow that he still has.
Okay.
And by the way, if you'll allow, Dan, at the end of our rest, Rogi did give you, since we do not have the luxury of a lizard, he'll give a treat to Frankie and Thodane every morning.
Good to know. What does
So
the
you
treat
guys-
give?
It gives temporary hit points.
How
And
many?
It gives you 3 because it's equal to my proficiency bonus.
Okay, so
Oh,
Frankie,
Yeah.
and Dane, you get 3 temporary hit points.
Sick.
Tasty meal.
And
Keyleth,
we'll-
as you enter as you're reaching the entrance to this giant cavern, you see along the wall a half skeletal body.
Hmm.
It doesn't look like it's decomposed a whole lot, and probably tiny critters have eaten at it, but it's sitting there. But it's weird. Its jaw's on its lap.
Let me look through Deep Delver. And
It
see.
looks like a humanoid skeleton of some kind. That's as much as you could ever grasp. Somebody with medicine could probably decipher more, but that's about it.
I got some medicine on me.
Alright, you want to roll medicine to see how this person died? I will say, even with 11, you can see into the anatomy of this person, and you can tell from the bloodied hands, the bloody front of its shirt, this creature, drow, human, whatever it was, you're pretty sure drow, but try not to think about that,
Mm-hmm.
had seen something, felt something, and had found the strength to put its hands in its own mouth and rip its own jaw off, resulting in death.
Cool. I was going to ask the question. If I could reset the jaw, so speak with dead, as our friend has.
You could do that still.
I
I'm just telling
don't
you,
believe
you
that's a
alre-
good. I don't believe that's
you
a good
already looked-
idea anymore.
You already can see it and know how this person killed themselves.
Yeah, I relate this to everybody, and I'm very clinical about it. Something caused
How
him
do you
to rip
say
it.
it?
Something
I'm-
caused this creature to rip his own jaw off.
We're turning around, and I don't care how long we have to backtrack.
It's been a while.
Is
since
there
this person
another way
died.
to go?
Sometimes the only way forward is through.
Don't think we can handle what's in here?
Keyleth just gives Thodane a flat look. Looks back to the corpse that ripped its own jaw out, and then looks back to Thodane.
We've been
Just
running.
have a weak mind.
We've been running through tunnels for quite
I'm a
some
soldier,
time,
not a thinker.
and we
It's
don't.
up to you. You're the ones that can read these insignias.
We also don't know if we're still being followed, but we probably are to some degree. If we turn
Is
around, we're going to, at the very least, make it very easy to catch us.
Could
Gundra,
you
I will be
tell?
completely honest with you. I would rather take torture to death at the hands of a matron than at the hands of a demon, though
That's
there is not much difference.
that is
I would
that's
certainly rather chance it with the demons than go back where we were.
I agree with that as well.
And not gaze upon the beautiful form of a woman as your last thing you see? You'd rather have a monster.
just some death is
I
death.
don't want to start that argument with you, so I will hold my tongue. Whatever you lot think is peachy.
I'm still pretty sure the demons would kill us faster. That is what I would prefer.
Escaped prisoners don't
He just kind of
exactly
like
get
mulls
the
this over in his head a bit, and then just kind of like shrugs at Rogi,
Who
kind of
has
relenting and kind of not.
survival? Who has survival as a proficiency?
I do.
Me.
Me.
If
Do
you
you have
do,
survival as a proficiency?
I
Me?
do.
Yeah.
Rio?
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
roll it.
Alright.
I couldn't exactly tell
Oh.
you why, but that makes me want to find out.
Probably background or something.
What's your background?
Archaeologist.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That'd
That's
be
probably
it.
it. Yep.
History
Yeah,
and
you're
survival, I
telling
think
me.
that is.
Yep.
You're the only one to notice that a few yards off into this cavern are large, indistinguishable footprints. They look bony in nature.
They look like what in nature?
Bony in nature.
How large? And if everybody's still talking at this point, Keith is going to just like raise his hand or make a gesture or something for silence.
Right. I would say if you looked at it, it would be a huge creature.
Hmm.
Potentially Demogorgon.
I just said huge. But it's specifically bony. Like there's flesh that should be there
Like
that is not.
potentially a demon that would be considered a bone demon?
No.
Bone devil?
You wouldn't know
Bone
anything
Devil is
about
not a
that.
demon.
Also, you wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Does it look reptilian or humanoid?
You have no idea.
Okay,
Do we all
how
see
many
this?
toes?
I think Keela's just thinking about this. He's looking off into the distance and analyzing at the moment.
Yeah, basically. As for how many toes, it doesn't seem apparent. Like maybe they stepped in the same space too many times. You're not quite sure. But you could definitely make out the ridges of a bone in there. It's huge. It's just, you have no idea what this kind of creature would be.
Would it be bipedal or quadrupedal?
Seems bipedal.
Bipedal. Alright.
It's
Well,
been
I
some
s-
days since it's been around, I'll say that.
Oh, in that case, Keelu's just gonna say this at a normal speaking voice. There's tracks up ahead. Probably made by whatever demon caused that humanoid there's madness.
Hmm.
They look a few days old. Does anyone know a demon that's more rigid in shape, possibly made out of chitin or bone or claws? I don't know.
I could try to search the memory archive.
Yeah. Same here.
Can we search the memory archive?
Alright.
Arcana.
Arcana,
History?
roll it.
History or Arcana?
Arcana.
Oh, I know.
Oh, he knows.
Oh, I don't.
How'd you both roll double?
Gundra starts asking for as much detail as possible so he gets a clear picture of what this could possibly be.
I mean, if he just starts doing that, Keelu's
We
just
have
gonna
the
get
same
direct
Arcana.
confidence to kind of slowly hop his way over.
Okay. And what is the
Yeah,
answer
but
that
I'll go-
comes to my head?
Oh my god. You know, with a net 27,
Mm-hmm.
huge foot, large footprints,
Skeletal, sort of.
even like a weird sway and something. Um, you're not entirely sure. Couldn't
Mm.
be. Couldn't be, in fact. And something that would invoke such a madness in a person, including that, it couldn't possibly be what you're thinking it is.
It doesn't fit any standard demon type that is known, does it?
No.
Hmm.
But the one the one thing that keeps coming to mind, even you can't think of it, because you don't want to.
Oh, aggressively, I don't want to.
You don't want to because of what you've seen and what you've heard. Demogorgon, Zektamoy. This would only ruin things more.
At some point, it becomes diminishing returns. At some point, it starts off with, oh, there's a demon lord that is existing on the material plane.
Uh-huh.
That is incredibly bad. That is incredibly bad. There are several demon lords that are existing on this material plane. That is signs of apocalyptical things. As this keeps increasing, you can't go past. You can't.
It can't be that thing. It can't be that demon lord. It couldn't be.
Like, he's incredibly bad. like maybe in my opinion, he might be worse than Demogorgon. Demogorgon's just violent, and he has intelligence in those two skulls of his, but like he's just a violent demon like all the rest of them. Uh, from what I understand, this one is like more strategical.
Yep.
Uh, there,
And you can tell, even as they're pointing out the footprints, this was intentional.
it left its mark intentionally.
It placed itself intentionally and then watched.
Out of session? What? Which one is this?
Stop. Nope. This is not out of session. This is in session.
Okay.
Gundra just
Alrighty
says
then.
this. This isn't a standard type of demon. They are creatures of malice and are known to change quite a lot from appearance to appearance. I don't think we'll be able to understand this one even if we find it.
Is there
How
a
old do you
classification or a term for this thing?
he dismisses that question. How old did you say this was again?
Couple of days.
He weighs things in his head. Does it seem to be going a direction?
Does it seem to be going in a direction?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that direction where we need to go?
Is that direction where we need to go?
In a. Not really. Not at this point. But that
Not
doesn't
right
mean
now.
much in the Underdark.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, not right
mm-hmm.
now is the correct answer.
We need to leave some way. If we can leave in the direction we were already intending to go, that's wonderful. If we can't, we return back. This is at this point, I agree with Keluth. Dealing with a matron or just a priestess in general is.
Guntra,
Mm-hmm.
roll a wisdom saving throw.
I don't want to.
That's nice.
Oh, it's okay.
Great.
I'm doing fine.
I will tell you especially one thing because of this. Because you feel it in of yourself as you study all these clues. And I will send it to you personally.
Oh. Oh, so I feel this kind of washing over me, basically.
Yep. And you understand that this is what this victim
Mm-hmm.
had.
Gundry kind of just shakes his head. We need to leave. We need to go now. I don't care. At this point, I don't care.
Youth immediately turns the lizard around and directs everybody back down the path that we came out of.
Gundra hesitates for a second, but then at the same time, that path had basically no branches. There's no chance that this thing looped on and somehow got behind us. we, we'll deal with the
No,
consequences.
none of you know that. You've never been down this path, and there are thousands of paths to where you need to go. You do know where the path that you took
I've never seen the
led you.
drow shaken like this, so
Oh, like we're going back
perhaps it is
the route we
best.
took.
No, you've never seen Gundra as shaken as he is now.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not since
Keyleth
he
just
was
Well,
returned.
Keelu's not real excited
resurrected.
about it.
How big are these footprints?
Huge.
Huge size is like
Wait, the footprint itself is huge.
Oh, the footprint itself would be of a huge creature.
I'll just look that up real quick. A huge creature.
I really can't give you this answer. I don't know.
Yeah,
A huge creature would leave this
up to
footprint.
it's up to 16 feet tall, I believe, or maybe a little bit past that. I need to double check.
So maybe a footprint 2 feet long.
Yeah, 16 to 32 feet. That's the size of a huge creature.
So like a foot wide,
Four?
2 feet long
Oh yeah. Oh, really? Yeah,
for a
I guess
footprint.
so. Yeah, makes sense. I think it would be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I think
That's kind of on the small end. Yeah, I first heard 16 feet, so that's what I.
yeah, I think this is like a solid 3 feet wide, 3 feet length. Um, this guy's has fairly wide feet, I think.
I
Uh,
think so. I think he
yeah.
would be about 4 feet wide, about 3 feet, or 4 feet long, 3 feet wide.
Hmm.
Gundra just points, or not Gundra, Keyleth. I'm sorry.
Who are
Keyleth
you?
just points at the floor, then looks to Thodane. We can't take that. I don't know what it is, but we can't fight it.
Take your word for it.
Gundra,
Not looking
is
to
this
run to death.
Gundra is
judging
reasoning
judging by
things.
your reaction? Is this Demon Lord number 3?
He kind of looks at you annoyed that you asked the question.
Keyleth just sees
Gotcha.
his face expression and just nods. Fair
Gotcha.
enough.
It can't be.
Like, he asked that question, forcing him to ask that question for himself, and that's why he's annoyed. And like, he, it can't be it, but it can't be it because he so desperately doesn't want it to be it. But at the same time, if we would be seeing more, uh, or would we? We're in the middle of nowhere.
Think
Faceless
about what
Lord.
could be hidden in there.
We would be seeing more undead, right? We would if it was close by, right? Right?
I don't know. I don't know what this thing is.
Yeah. Uh, Gundra looks really pissed off that you replied to him speaking aloud. he's trying
At the
to.
mention of undead, Keyleth is going to preemptively decapitate that
Mhm.
jawless corpse over there. As we're turning around and
I just
backtracking.
limply, it cuts through almost like butter because it's been sitting there decaying for for just enough time. Just kind of bounces, sit there. To be fair, you do have an object that can speak with undead. One that Rogi has.
Rogi, that would be your decision to try to do that. Gundra is in a fit right now, and I don't think he trusts it.
Rogi's a little, kind of.
I'll say both Durgar and Frankie are seeing a full-on drow freak the fuck out right now.
Yeah, it
Not
is.
just
Yeah, and
insanity, but
that's a little,
I will say
it's
it's
a
a
little
nervousness that
disturbing.
is forcing him to just like work, and he is in aggressive logic mode and like trying to piece things together and reason what could be true and what can't.
That's why I'm not pressing the matter at all.
Rogi is real confused and will kind of turn to Frankie and Thodane and say, Do we want to ask this corpse anything?
DM's advocate, the corpse, knows everything that happened.
the DM did not say this.
Yeah, it's a DM's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
Player advocate. The
Rogi
corpse
is
knows everything that happened.
So true.
Rogi looks to both of you
We
and
shouldn't
asks
do
that
this.
question.
Frankie, Dodane.
There anything we want to try to figure out?
I don't know. It's kind of
I
funny
mean,
seeing
more
Gundra
information on
freak out.
this, on what happened here, would certainly inform us.
At the very least, I kind of want to figure out what is making Gundra so... that.
Frankie, what'd you say?
Yeah, why not?
I'm down for anything.
Well, what do you guys think I should ask it?
What happened to it?
Okay.
Might be a good place to start.
Yeah.
You might get another question based on that answer.
Alright.
Keyleth, I will
I
also.
will start there.
No, well, Rogi, keep in mind what the spell Speak with Dead requires.
An intact skull.
Mm-hmm.
If you can make that happen, I don't know if you have the medical knowledge to necessarily do that, but if you can make that happen,
Describe how the jaw... Where is the jaw?
jaw is on his lap,
On his
but
lap.
the head is now detached. At the
Okay.
very least, you need to attach the jaw to the skull.
Well,
It needs
you know
a
what?
mouth.
Hmm. Yeah, you know what? I will try my hardest to pick up the jaw, and I'll use some of my cook's utensils if need be to kind of help, like, set it correctly. Actually, I do have thieves' tools. Is there any way that I can just set the jaw in and then just, like, put it on a surface so that it doesn't actually have to be attached, but it still, like, functions? You know, like, set the skull and the jaw on a shelf?
You have somebody who is proficient in medicine who could probably stitch something together,
A bit.
but I'm willing to do that if you are. So what do you want to do?
Yeah, I want to try to, well, Rogi will go over to Gundra and kind of show him this crystal and say, I don't really know what is happening, but we can at least get answers. Just need to put the jaw back together. Can you do this?
Guntra eyes are wide as you talk to him about this. He is reasoning what he's reasoning into his own biases at the moment. Basically, he is convincing himself, no, this isn't who he thinks it is. It is just a demon that has close ties and probably altered themselves to mirror, got pulled in whenever fighting with Demogorgon or something. Uh,
Keeluth, you are a little more lucid.
but he, as you say that, as you ask him to help you out, he says, "Why would I refuse the last action of a man before he died? He made this choice. We should let him rest with it." Now, Gundra goes to try. He's trying his best to kind of see what other paths are in here, and trying to feel what beyond his own sight, which is the safest.
So you're saying whatever you think is in here is so bad that you don't even want to know what happened.
I'm saying that he pulled his own jaw off. What information could he have? He felt that life was pointless when he died.
It's made out to look that way, yes. But you don't know the truth until you know it.
This is why we have
Yes.
deduction. Save whatever resources you have. They're not worth this thing's last thoughts.
Well, you're the one that can do it, Rogi, so it's up to you.
Well, I can't do it without the jaw, so,
Too. I suppose Gundra is pivotal to this operation.
Gundra, what exactly is this thing that you think we are facing?
High level demon of some sort. At least tier 4, tier 5, I forget the categorization. It probably has connections to a demon lord. It probably was fighting Demogorgon and whatever pulled them through it to this direction. And it just happens to be powerful enough that it has the similar madness effects.
Hmm.
uh, Gundra begins asking Keeluth for more details about where he believes these tracks lead, if he can find anything else out, because heading backwards is also a risk. It's just a less terrifying one.
I'll say this, Keyleth, you can easily tell the tracks stray away outside of your vision, probably to the, I don't know, like I would say the left of where you are, which is not necessarily the direction you're going.
Q
But
conveys all this.
Yeah, Gundra also conveys that he doesn't believe it is nearby, or at least nearby in a sense that it is dangerous. It is a matter of us colliding with its path. That is the danger. It's also incredibly quiet. Demons can be stealthy, but they're usually not unless they've already seen their prey. So,
Rogi will take what Gundra has said and doesn't want to mess with any of this here near where the individual died. So Rogi will take the skull and the jaw and throw it in his pack.
okay.
This is a drow skull.
It is a
probably.
humanoid skull
Humanoid skull.
and humanoid jowl. Like
Yeah.
jaw.
I
I
think
was gonna say jowl, but I mean I guess that could work, but not quite right.
Yeah, the closest we got to identifying it is that Gundra thought it was a drow for a second and then kind of pushed those thoughts aside. We have no confirmation. We have thoughts.
Right.
Yeah, Rogi thinks it's unwise to talk to this individual if
I
they
will
were indeed
say,
mad, but
it's been a couple of days since it was killed. The spell will only allow you to talk to something that has been dead within 10 days, I believe.
okay.
So you're risking it the longer you travel.
Cool.
If it fails, that is another source of information, I will say.
Fair.
Mhm.
So,
But Rogi will just put it in his pack for now.
okay. What's the plan now?
We are going to go probably the same direction we were going, unless there is another
You're
path.
avoiding the left side.
Yeah, if there's a more rightwards path, if
Mhm.
that seems like it will eventually allow us to go head north again, or up because we have to bridge that gap.
Yep.
I think that's worth it.
Okay. Is everyone in agreement?
Mm-hmm.
E.
Okay. So you continue. You continue a full day of travel. That's never. You guys are going at a fast pace, correct?
Yeah,
So that's 30 miles?
yeah.
Taking off 30 from 336, you're at 306 miles from Lingdenstone. Your drow pursuit level does not increase.
Yay.
Given
You
that,
guys are now at a campsite if you would like to interrogate your skull.
No, Rogi's gonna sit on it for at least a day.
okay.
At the end of the day, are you sure?
Speak with Dad is personal, right? It doesn't make a thing openly talk, right?
I'm pretty sure it makes it openly talk.
No.
Really?
The corpse knows only what it knew in life, including the languages it knew. Answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive. The corpse is under no compulsion to offer a truthful answer if you are hostile to it, or it recognizes you as an enemy.
That doesn't really say if
Yeah.
it speaks it or if it's like a sort of
Sort of like
spiritual connection.
disembodied voice, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume that since you need a jaw to make it talk, that it is an audible.
It does need a jaw to talk. It needs a mouth. That is a requirement.
I thought that
of
was symbolic, basically.
it. No. It says it specifically needs a mouth.
Well,
And I'm willing
That-
to say, let me look at the whole thing. Grant the semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse of your choice within range, allowing it to answer the questions you pose. The corpse must still have a mouth and can't be undead. The spell fails if the corpse was the target of the spell within the last 10 days.
yeah. So
And then it will
my
answer 5 questions, and that's the rest of the thing I said.
my argument is that basically what as I see it, it's up to the DM's interpretation. So whatever you say goes. But the way I've always pictured it is that the jaw is there because without it symbolically, it cannot communicate. Not
I'm
that it
fine with
directly
that.
uses it, and also I see this as sort of a seance sort of thing.
No, I'm in agreement. If you put the jaw and the skull together, I'll allow the spell to go through.
Yeah, it's if it speaks it aloud and and communicates to all of us rather than just the caster, that changes Gundra's opinion on if he should help. So
I'll say, if you can somehow attach the skull and the jaw together, it will speak to more than just the caster.
okay, unfortunately, that means he doesn't want to help.
Okay.
Yep, that's why Rogi's gonna sit on it for another night and see if Gundra calms down. He'll bring it out the second night, though.
All right. The next day goes by, or at least the morning comes and you travel again.
I love running so much. It's so fun.
Are you going at a fast pace, slow pace? What's going on here?
I would like to be away from that area as fast as possible.
Fast pace?
Hmm.
Okay. Alright. As you travel along, nothing immediate happens, but you do find another corpse sprawled about. There's just something strange here. And Gundar, you see it immediately. The cause of death was he snapped his own neck. Oh,
Oh
my
no, it's
bad.
making Daniel emotional.
I'm so sorry. Oh, he stabbed his own neck.
Keyleth looked for signs. It was here.
Heloth and anyone else with any survival, you cannot see any tracks, especially like the previous ones of any kind. It just seemed like this guy ran here, snapped his own neck, and died. He's not skeletal, he didn't decay that much. It just seems like a drow who was on his own, or at least part of a group who escaped or separated or something. Saw you could see in his eyes, besides the terrible bloodshot that would come from snapping a neck, it just seems he did it himself.
Can I search the
That's
body
that.
for a house insignia
Yes, you may.
and also money?
Okay, he has 20 silver on him.
Heck yeah.
No house insignia.
Okay.
He seemed to be like, based on his clothing and whatnot, he seemed to be a raider of some kind.
Mm.
But his eyes are frantic looking.
I will say to my fellow player, nothing's stopping you from blasting this one.
Are you referring to me?
I'm referring to the person who can speak with dead.
Mm-hmm.
Head's completely intact this time. It's only the neck that's the problem. They don't need that to speak.
No, no, they don't. This is very strange.
And
I
there
feel
only
like
you know the cause of death because you have such a high medicine.
Yeah, but the skull's there, so you know
It is there, yes.
it's a whole head actually. So you know, it
Yep.
must be even better.
I am starting to wonder if we should ask a question of this individual.
There's no point. This thing died with madness on its skull, to the point where it gestures to it vaguely. This happened.
Yes, but there are no other tracks here. This is so strange. I want to know, are you not curious how it got here? Why it decided to do this?
Some questions do not yield answers that are useful.
Do you at least want to see how long ago? No, I do not know if it could tell us how long ago it died, but
Can I make a survival check to check the body to see how long ago it died?
That would be a medicine check.
I'll do that then.
Okay, roll it.
Rate of decay.
About a day or two ago, if that. It's hardly decayed.
Decay hasn't set in. It's only been a few days at most. Probably
Oh, that's
just.
what the footprints said.
Hmm. We are too close to whatever this is, but I don't know which direction is incorrect. It might have followed us to this. It might have taken the same path we just did, and it met the same fate just back there, and it ran here before dying. Could have been any number of things. We need to find someplace safe. We need to find the quickest path of avoidance. I'm not sure if any of you have divination spells, but if so, now's the time to use them. We must find a safe path, and soon. At that point, I am going to be checking through my spells to see if there's anything I can switch out. Not really, damn.
What's the plan?
Yeah, Rogi wants answers.
Okay.
He's going to take out the stone and say, look to Gundra and say,
It's 4 charges to use it.
mm-hmm.
Let me just quickly roll a d6. It's 1d6 plus 4 charges it has right now. Mark it down however you want. But it basically has 5 charges it can do right now. And then at dawn, that goes 1d6 plus 4, and so on and so forth.
And it can hold 10. Wait, so
It's
On
been a
its
while.
line,
then,
I will say,
yeah,
that
it
doesn't matter.
vanishes and is lost forever.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be at max
But wouldn't
charge?
it have, 10
It
charges?
would be
so
at
they've
max
had this
charges.
for a while.
Yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
right. It would be at max. No, I'm sorry. I got it all wrong.
What'd you say? What are you saying to Gundra?
It's 10
And to the whole
charges.
group, I think that this person could at least tell us which way not to go and help us in this. There is not much divination magic I have. This is the only thing. And unless someone stops him, he's going to start setting up the ritual.
Gundra, you see Gundra twitching, sort of, like, not twitching, like, moving to react and then stopping before casting Minor Illusion, creating a perfect cube around his body. He's going to sit down and close his ears. You're free to do
Okay.
whatever the fuck you want. Like,
Alright.
Keyleth's going to follow
Okay.
suit in the closing of the ears. He's also going to close his eyes. Actually, he's only going to keep one open.
That seems insane in its own right, but okay.
once information
Rogi
enters
will-
this head, it does not leave it. This is the
Rogi will
poison of madness.
motion for Thodane and Frankie to come near him.
Well,
If
so
they're-
Dan will join.
I
I'm
am
just
going-
gonna watch from afar.
Well, if you have any questions then, shout them out. You'll be able to hear. Okay, now how does this work?
You attune to the power of the crystal, the long shard of quartz-like material, and it starts to resonate with your intention. And you can feel the resonation affect the corpse. The corpse sits there and vibrates for just a half a second before it goes. Your questions are now available.
What or who convinced you to kill yourself?
Shadow was
What was that?
the shadow that was
What?
loved of the undead. Your first question is done.
Do we hear that, or does he have to
Yes.
reiterate?
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
okay.
No, you guys hear this.
I wouldn't be in a magic box if that
was
wasn't the case.
Yeah. What was before the undead? The shadow that was
The shadow that was.
The Lord of Undead?
the
Lord of
Lord
Undead.
Lord.
The Lord of the Undead. Yes. Be very specific.
Demon lords, baby.
Where were you trying to go?
And so, Baron said,
Hmm. Is Where did you last see this Lord of the Undead?
time is nothing.
What was that?
Time is nothing.
Time is. Okay. That's a weird question with time. Oh boy. Okay. I'll turn to Thodane and call to Frankie. Well, I won't say anything because I don't know how this spell works, so he's just gonna shrug. Ask if you guys have any questions.
Shrug received. No further questions, Your Honor.
I'll look to Frankie.
I got nothing.
Was this Lord of the Undead in Menzoberranzan?
Don't know.
Don't know. Okay. And last question. Is there a safe way that you know of out of this area?
It whispers so quietly you can't hear. But an arm reaches up and motions for you to come closer. As if the magic is fading from it.
Only
Rogi
good
will,
things can happen from this. Let's go.
Rogi will get his face in closer.
It motions for you to get closer and just goes. The magic is fading now.
Close enough so that he can hear, but is
It
cautious.
grabs you, brings you in close, it just whispers in your Lord, yes, is here.
Mhm.
And I need a wisdom saving throw.
Alrighty then.
You
Pass.
good? Yeah.
Hey.
You feel the immensity of that statement, and your mind, like firing neurons, just connect all of the dots and understand the previous body, this body, all connected to Orcus, the thing Gunter never wanted to say out loud for fear of his own mind. You've shattered it. You've given in. You understood Orcus, the demon lord of undeath, is here on the material plane. But your strength of will is enough. Durgard made of hardy people, unlike Drow. And your time with the Myconids have expanded your mind. Even if Orcus is here, you know better. You can deal with this. You
I
come
have
through.
seen equal.
And at that point, the corpse just lets go and dies. Its last death.
Hmm. Well, okay, I'll turn to the others. Well, that was interesting.
Seeing you do that, Kilu's gonna take his hands off his ears. Are you done?
Yes.
Have you learned anything about the direction we need to travel? Well,
No,
he looks shaken, first off. Are you sane? He just kind of like snaps his fingers
I am
around your face.
just as sane as I was when I started.
So that's a no.
I am not less sane. I think. I don't think. I don't know. I feel fine.
Kilu's gonna turn and just wave at Gundra or knock on the box or something.
The box is an illusion. You knock on nothing.
Puts his hand through a box.
Yeah, you put your hand
But-
through it, and you feel like a sudden jolt because he wasn't expecting to just be directly touched through this. And then he comes out, and his first question is just, was it a whole bunch of just nihilistic bullshit, or did you actually get something worth the spell?
Oh, so he
I
just
got
straight up ignores
information.
Keluth.
Oh yeah,
Nope.
he just assumes Keluth was just like, hey, it's good. He doesn't understand that as a signal to, hey, I want to talk to you.
That's fine.
Um, I got information that may be interesting to you, both. But no, unfortunately, there was nothing about the direction to go. But I did ask where this person was going, and they were going back to your home. And I asked if whatever killed this individual was there. He said no.
Gundra nods at that. Like, that's a genuine comfort to him.
But
if he
there is indeed confirmation that another one of these demon lords is here.
from the mouth of a madman, I will give it the benefit of the doubt, and tread things with caution. But the more we see and interact with, the less realistic it becomes that there are so many. A few demon lords being summoned, that's coincidence. Past that, it's an insane thing.
Perhaps. But it is always better to take the warnings of those who came before, just in case they are right. It is the best way to survive.
So this thing, he's realizing that I am realizing that Gundra refers to corpses as things instead of people, which is interesting to me. But anyways, this thing
Is that
said.
because you've been there?
Gundra continues. This thing says that within the last day, while he was en route to Menzoberranzan, he interacted with the creature that caused him mental suffering. We can extrapolate that and see if we can find a path of avoidance as best we can. We might be circling around, might be taking some sort of long route, but if we can bend around, possibly go more westward or stay in the middle dark longer than we need to before heading to the upper dark, that might be worth it. We'll have to see what paths are available to us, and we will have to be insanely cautious of everything we hear and see in the near future.
indeed. And Rogi will, as this happens, take the extra skull and jawbone out of his pack and just kind of set it next to the corpse.
Corpse of Two Skull.
Okay.
Daniel, are you done pissing?
Yep, I'm done. I've been listening.
It's not what I asked, but let's go.
I mean, I'm done pissing. I'm sorry I heard you.
Yeah, I think we're very reluctantly moving forward. I don't know if it could literally be any direction, so I don't think it's worth pretending we can avoid it. I personally will ask if there is an alternative route we find that seems less traveled or something like that. We go down that, maybe lose some time, but gain some distance. I don't know. I would love that, but
I mean, yeah, that's fine. I'll keep that in mind. I mean, as you travel on in this next day, nothing seems to happen. You keep a very opposite route from where the tracks went towards,
mm-hmm.
and it seems all fine. Nothing happening. And you rest for the night. Nothing happens. You are 276 miles outside of Blingdenstone.
I don't like that. It concerns me that nothing happens.
Hmm.
It's called
Is it
anxiety.
because it's very quiet on your whole journey there? Which is only
Mhm.
something you, Rogi, wouldn't realize as a ranger.
Mm-hmm. Rogi will not point this out to anyone because he does not want to upset Topsy and Turvy.
Okay.
Jim
Next.
Jar? Fuck him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Nothing. I can't say anything. I just know things from the books.
Cool.
Let's go to Blingdenstone.
It's funny you say that you know
Huh?
something that would happen during the books.
I know things about Blingdenstone.
Mm-hmm.
Is it normal?
Anyways,
No,
I was
nothing.
actually gonna say we're gonna end it here for tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
That
With the
shit's gonna get real.
with the hanging of death over everyone's shoulders, we're gonna end it right here. And hopefully the rest of your adventure towards Blingdenstone isn't so ominous.